Hi, my name is Joseph, and I went with a group about a month ago. There was about 8 of us to go and decide to go on a trip. So we all got together and talked about where do we want to go. Some of us said Ireland, but I've already been to Ireland. So I thought maybe let's go to the Grand Canyon. Arizona seems really flat, but there's one really big canyon. It's really special. So we said, all right. So we got together in one big van. So we were all really excited, feeling really stoked about going. So we drove, and then we drove all day. And drove all day until we get to Las Vegas. And we arrived there around 6 at night. And we decided, we'll just stay for 3 hours and look around and see some sights. So we saw the Bellagio. It's like a hotel. They have like big water fountains in front. It's really cool. They had the music that went along with the fountains. I thought it was cool. Then we went to some other place called, I don't remember what it was called, but they had a cheesecake factory. It was really delicious. So I had some cheesecake, and it was really tasty. And we got back in the car and drove all night. When we arrived at the top of the Grand Canyon around 3 o'clock in the morning, I was exhausted. I went to sleep underneath a tree. And it rained that night too when we were sleeping. Then we woke up at around 6 in the morning around sunrise. We put on our backpacks and put our sleeping bags, our food, everything in our backpacks. And we got all situated. And around 8 of us went down. The first part of the Grand Canyon was really hard on me. Switchbacks all the way down. About 12 miles of switchbacks. It was really long. Then we arrived at a place called Havasupai. It's some Indian name. It was really nice because it had some waterfalls, really a lot of really beautiful waterfalls. We arrived because the water was brown because it had been raining so much, and all the mud had been washed down into the waterfall. Then the next day we hiked for around 7 hours. We arrived and camped out, and we had a little boat and a little hammock between trees. And then I went just crashed and fell asleep. And in the morning when I got up, I saw the water was just this bright blue color. I put on my swimsuit, and my little like wetsuit. And I went. So we went to the Navajo Indian waterfall. Anyway, the waterfall was really big. And it was really big. It wasn't too tall, but it was really big at the same time. We just played in the water. The whole group of us played in the water. It wasn't like we went swimming. It was more like we could like climb around on the waterfall and on the rocks. But like it was kind of hard to climb because the water would be pelting down on you. So when I climbed to the very top, I was like, I felt like I was the king of the waterfall. And then I jumped, and it was really fun. It was fun. We stayed there for about 3 hours in that area. Then we went to another waterfall. It was much smaller, but the height of the waterfall was about 90 feet. It's huge. It was fun because you could go behind the waterfall and climb up. So you could climb about half the way behind it, and then you'd like get on this little step and you could see the water in front of you, and then you jump, but you couldn't see anything, so you just jump and there'd be the water all around you. Then you'd hit the water. It really surprised you. I got really hooked on it. It was super fun. And then when we had enough, and then we left went to another waterfall, a third one called it's a really fancy one. Not one you could really play in, but one you got to go and look at. It was nice. It's like 30 feet. Mooney Waterfall, I think it was called. We went to a fourth, about like a 10-foot small one, but it had a rope swing there. It was really cool. It was a really long rope swing, about a 40-foot little cast. You could go way out. It took about 2 or 3 hours of playing around there. Then we were really exhausted for the evening. Then we left, and it was that. And then that night we were supposed to go home. It was about another 12-hour drive, about 7 hours of backpacking to get out of the canyon. So at around like 1 o'clock at night, we decided to leave and started hiking up with the full moon. We had headlights, so we didn't really need headlights because we had the full moon. So we left because it was at night. It was really cool because it was nighttime. And then I got kind of sick because I hadn't slept much the whole trip. So we hiked for about 4 hours, and it felt fine. And then we hit the steep wall of the canyon. And the switchbacks going all the way up with a backpack on. The backpack weighed about 30 pounds. It was really hard on me. I really struggled with the heavy pack on, walking back and forth up these switchbacks. It was funny because on the way down, you go back. We would stick together as a group, but when we went up, the group would spread out so far, and the person in the back would be about 30 minutes behind the person in the front. So everybody was really spread out, and they keep on. I remember just looking at the person at the top, be like, "Oh man, I wish I was that person. They're so close to being done." So then we got done around 3 o'clock in the morning again, just like when we got there. And we had to drive 4 hours. I just felt, oh man, forget it. Let's just pull over, and we slept on the side of the road. It really wasn't very comfortable. There's rocks everywhere, and I'd squirm a lot trying to get comfortable. And around 8 o'clock in the morning, I got up. We got back in the car, and we started driving. We drove all day and night and got to Las Vegas. We stopped in Vegas to eat at a buffet. It was really nice, fancy, but I was really hoping for like good hamburgers because I hear so many good things. Then I ate it and I was kind of disappointed. It just kind of tastes like a standard burger. Like it's really nothing special. People had these T-shirts about this burger, and I just thought it was kind of disappointing. It wasn't a really big deal. So then we drove some more. Got to St. George. I got out of the car and I was so exhausted because I'd driven the whole way. Like 4 days, around 30 hours of sleep. I couldn't sleep. So I bought a Red Bull drink. And it just made me all like kind of hyper. And I had to like remind myself that I'm awake. I'm awake. Okay, I'm ready to drive. I'm ready to go. My brother said, "No, you need something." And I was like, "I know, but I'm really so tired." But but no one else was willing to drive because they were also tired too, and I was willing to just stay awake. So he said, what can you do? And he said, why don't you have some of the girls wake up? Why don't you go talk to a girl and get her phone number? Maybe that'll wake you up. So I went to this gas station. There was a cute girl there, and I started talking to her. And she kind of came, and she was willing to go and drive for me. It was really nice. And then when we got home, I went to bed and just crashed. And I woke up the next morning and went to school. That's my story. Thank you.